welcome to this week's episode of Shut Up, We're Getting Married. Today we are talking about all things suppliers, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah, you ready?
I'm ready if you are.
Amazing.
Okay, so the word that we are going to cancel for this week is obviously supplier, because we're going to be talking a lot about suppliers and we're probably going to say supplier a lot.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the hardest one so far.
I don't know. Venue was pretty difficult for me.
Every episode's been difficult for you so far, though.
Well, just to let our viewers know, I am losing 2-0. At the end of the series, the loser will have to do a forfeit. So I'm a step closer to that. So, yes, we are banning the word supplier.
From now.
Now,
I'm going to start today a bit differently because we're filming on a different day, aren't we?
We are.
Why are we filming on a different day?
Because we have a manic life at the moment and
No,
the
that's
mortgage
not why.
is up for renewal.
No, that's not why.
No, I'm joking. It's not right. It's not why. Why are we filming on a different day, baby?
Because on Sunday, which was the day we'd planned to film, we actually our venue. I forgot what word was banned, and I second guessed myself.
Venue was last
I know.
week.
But our wedding venue is having an open day, and we've not been there apart from the only time that we went and looked round and booked it the same day and stuff like that, have we? So
No.
That's the only time we've been there. They had an open day before, but we weren't able to go. So we're like, why not? Let's go this week. And that's what we did, didn't we?
We did. We went all the way up there, even though we've already booked it, to check
look
out
around,
our open day venue. We were worrying about when we would have the first maxi kind of bark
Introduction,
through an
yeah.
episode, and I think we're going to have it sometime soon.
He's
'cause
having a
he's
bit of tantrum.
having a bit of tantrum on me, just so if you do hear any weird whining, it's our dog. Okay, well, back to it. I think.
You were saying we were a bit worried. What were we worried about?
No, we weren't worried. I was basically saying that we had the open day, but we've already kind of booked our venue, but we thought we'd just go up there and see anything that had changed, if we were still in love with it, and were we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was magical, wasn't it?
We confirmed everything. But then we ended up getting stuck in really bad traffic for 3 hours on the way back. So by the time we got back, we were like, no, it can be done another day.
It definitely can be done another day.
And here we are now.
And here
Doing
we are now doing it at night still,
Yeah.
because, we do have mortgage troubles and things like that at the moment.
But I thought I'd bring it up anyway,
Yeah.
because there were lots of people that we got to talk to whilst we were there.
There were.
So I thought it was still relevant.
Absolutely, and it brings us on to our episode for today. What is today's episode, baby?
Well, it's about... So another word for it is vendors, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose,
Yeah.
if you want to cheat the game, but yeah.
Vendors. Cheat the game. It's about vendors, what they are, because I think going into this we didn't know what they were, did we?
No, we didn't.
And it's everyone chucks it around like you are expected to know this information, and
Yeah.
we didn't have a clue.
No.
So what is a vendor?
Well, it's someone that offers a service to your wedding, right?
Pretty much, it's all the people that do anything throughout the day.
Exactly. So we obviously went to the open day, but we also went to the fair that we've spoken about earlier on in the podcast, where there'll be loads of vendors or people there offering different stuff, and you kind of talk to them, get an idea of their price, which they really don't want to give you until they've got all your contact details. I'm talking email, phone number, secondary email,
Wedding day,
the lot.
Everything.
And you're like, mate, just give me a quote. But they basically, tell you, what they're going to offer, their services, walk you through that, and you kind of think about if that's a right fit for your day, really.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff did we book in first? If there was a priority list, what did we go for?
That's how we kind of worked it out. We did it as like a priority list, didn't we? So we booked the venue, The
Yes.
venue came with catering. I think if it didn't, catering would have been our next.
Yeah, that would have been top of the list,
Yeah,
I
top
think.
of the
But ours
list.
did come with it, yeah.
And then we thought, well, what's next most important in order for this to be like a functioning day? And we thought DJ, didn't we?
100%, yeah.
Because of the evening bit, we wanted to have the music so we could have a nice evening. What did we do after that? Was it photographer?
I think it was photographer, yes.
Yeah. But that's how we planned it. We made a list and we set it one thing at a time, like let's go down this list and book them one by one rather than just like bombarding ourselves with lots of information from all these different people and stuff, didn't we?
Yeah, and what's the normal process with that? I think for ours it was kind of a 10% deposit, right? 20% deposit, and then you pay off.
I don't even know if it was 10%. They were random. Like they all had their own kind of structures and stuff. But yeah, you confirm your date is available.
Yeah.
That was all a lot of them asked for.
Yeah.
And then if you're in agreement with it and you're happy to move forward, they send you over like a contract and you pay a deposit to secure them in. And then you don't pay anything else until, like a month before. Yeah.
And I think this is where, if you are an avid listener, you would have heard last week we were talking on our tip of the week about don't get married to an idea, right? Prepare for rejection.
Yeah.
And I think this is where this really comes into play, is where, like, you know, we have fallen in love with a cake lady who we've literally just been on the emails to 20 minutes before we started this podcast. And we fall in love with it. And she kind of said, you know, what's your wedding date? And we were like, told her, and we've been like, I have been stressing, thinking, is she going to email back being like, oh, I'm so sorry, because we got married to that, really.
No, but I think another thing about the cake that we haven't actually considered, she doesn't actually deliver to the area where our wedding is.
Yeah, but it's that good that we're willing to sacrifice.
We'll pay the extra.
Guys, if you didn't know already, or you don't know us and are just new, we are foodies. We love our food. The cake is very high on the list. But anyway, to kind of round off this kind of section, what I wanted to ask you is, like, what would you say, like, in priority list, if we were doing this all again and booking people in, what would you say is kind of number 1, 2, 3? You said number 1 would be caterer, if you haven't got it already.
Yeah, but for us, catering was part of the venue, so we didn't need to worry about that.
No.
It's kind of what I was saying already, though. Like, we did it through the structure of the day and what we thought was most important in how it will impact our day.
Yep.
So we did DJ first, then we did photographer because it was something that we can look back to. And then we had been looking at florists.
Well, this leads me on to my next. I was just about to say we haven't actually spoke about this, right? But we have not got a florist.
No,
which is quite a controversial thing, right? Tell us a little bit about that. Why not? Why haven't we gone down that route, babe?
We were looking at florists and florist is one where you actually have a call with them, show them your ideas, your colour schemes, all this kind of jazz. I think you only came to one of them, didn't you?
I could not sit for another one of those meetings on Zoom.
I think I spoke to at least 3 different people. There might have even been a 4th, and they're all like hour-long conversations where you're talking about what flowers you like. I don't know the name to any flowers. Daisies, I think, was what I said I liked.
I think you did. When I was there, yeah, I didn't say anything.
I don't know the name of any flowers, but yeah, you have to have these long old conversations with them whilst they're talking about everything. What types of flowers you want, what colours you want, what flowers you want for what things. So it'd be like bouquets, centerpieces, buttonholes, corsages for mums. Like
corsages, yeah.
Say that again.
Corsages. What are they?
Corsage. I thought you said visage.
Well, this is why I wasn't in the meetings, right? Because I don't know or care. I just want to see a picture of something.
You say things with funny accents. What's the name of the cheese we get?
What the cheese we get?
Yeah.
When? What?
The cheese with the bread.
Camembert.
You don't normally... No, you spell it weirdly.
Camembert.
You spell it like Schumembert.
Right, you've gone really off piece to try and embarrass your fiance.
No, I haven't gone off.
I do apologise for anyone listening or tuning in on Spotify or YouTube. But carry on, babe. What were you going on about? You were just talking about florists.
Yeah.
Daisies is the only flower you know. Camembert. But yeah, I personally sat in on one of these little talks, and one was too many, in my opinion.
But the reason we brought this up to begin with
Yep.
was because flowers or florists are insanely expensive. Like, I think that's been the most shocking price we've received so far.
I have never been so shocked at seeing a bill or invoice for something in my entire life.
And this is not to go against florists and say that they're overcharging, because I appreciate there's a lot of time and skill that probably goes into it that we aren't aware of.
Yeah, and if there are any florists listening, please feel free to email us. we can discuss rates, and we can maybe do a separate podcast where we apologise for digging you out.
But for us, we were sort of, again, thinking about the day, and we were like, the florist only does the flowers. Yes, there might be some setup arranged within the flowers, but they don't do other, or some might, but they don't generally do other kind of like decorations and preparations for the day.
No. So why don't you tell everyone what we did? What did we do, baby?
I don't know what you'd call her, like a decorator?
I would call her a decorator, but that kind of has another meaning, doesn't it? But I would call her a decorator, yeah.
We've booked a decorator.
We have booked...
A dresser? A wedding dresser?
A dresser, yes.
So she like drapes all the chairs and does like the aisle with like lanterns and the tables all nicely and stuff like that, doesn't she?
Yeah, and she kind of and she kind of dabbled with a bit of flowers. Obviously fake flowers,
yeah.
but she dabbled with a little bit of like, we've got this lovely blossom arch over our ceremony when we were going to get married. We've got petals going down the aisle. We've got flowers on the chairs, to where they meet. She also offered some centerpieces, but we didn't take her up on any.
We didn't take her up on centerpieces.
Because we are going to DIY them, which we're going to talk about in a separate episode, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we went for a decorator, and her price was so competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say, guys, I'll give you an exclusive here. It was better than half price. Am I right in saying
half
that?
the florist
Yeah.
price? Yeah.
It was better than half the price.
And going by what we decided when picking our vendors, again, it was thinking about the day, and we were like, if once this is booked in, we don't need to worry about preparing anything for the day. Like, it will all be set up for us. We can just enjoy ourselves.
Absolutely.
And we don't need to worry about taking things down either, because that was covered in it too.
Yeah, and to her credit, it was a 20-minute phone call.
Yep.
It wasn't 45 minutes on Zoom for something you're not even going to book.
Yep.
It was a 20-minute call with her, and she walked you through the colours you wanted. And she was there at the open day the other day, wasn't she?
Yeah.
We had a good chat. We had a good chat with her, and she kind of showed us the colours, the pinks and the blues that we've gone for. And I just, all I'm saying is a bit of a recommendation from us. Obviously, you don't have to take it as gospel, but I would honestly have a little look at, I don't know what you call them, a wedding dresser, a decorator, I don't know, a wedding decorator, but have a little look if that's something on Instagram that your venue offers or has had people offer before.
Just signs as
just
well.
Signs, and it's it's just it just covers a lot of stuff for a good amount. So we booked what? DJ, photographer, decorator. If you're going to call it that. We haven't booked the cake yet, but we're in talks.
Yeah, we've still got quite a few things that we need to book, but we also didn't. We kind of, like we said, we prioritised it, and some of the things we can't book yet because we're not really sure what we need. So I'm thinking, for me, hair and makeup.
Of course. Well. This was going to lead me on to my next question for you. Out of all the things we haven't booked, what would, if I said you can only have one, what would it be for you? Like, in terms of a vendor.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what we haven't booked yet.
Well, I thought yours would be pretty obvious, be hair and makeup.
No, not necessarily.
Well, that would mean you couldn't have your hair and makeup. I'm saying
I'm
you
not
have
going
one...
in naked, am I?
No, but I'm saying you get one choice.
Yeah.
So, like, if you don't book hair and makeup wise, they're gone. They're out. They're out.
No, I'm thinking about it.
All right. Well, take your time.
What other things are there?
Do you want me to go first? Because I know exactly what I'm going to say.
All right.
Guys, I'm going to... Well, you know what I'm going to say.
Cake.
No. Do you not know me? What have I been banging on about for the last 3 days since that open day?
Magician.
Thank you.
Magician.
So I am, in awe of magic. I absolutely love it. And we saw a magician at the open day and he blew our minds, didn't he?
Oh, he was sick.
And I just think personally, like that would be such a great thing to have, like for your guests, like, and it would make it such a memorable occasion. The problem is, it's just extra money in the budget that isn't needed.
Yeah. And we're not going to benefit from it, really, are we?
Well, yeah, elaborate on that. What do you mean?
We're not going to be standing around watching a magician, are we?
He might do 1 or 2 tricks on us.
No, I know, but we would want to sit there and watch him all day, and we wouldn't get to do that.
I know exactly what you mean. We'd be so busy that we probably wouldn't even see this magician that we're paying 700 odd quid for an hour and a half. And you kind of, and it's great to obviously for your guests, but you've also got to think you've paid for your guests' meal. You've paid for a lot of stuff already on the day, and is it an extra that you absolutely need? We're still trying to work that out.
If there's money in the budget close to the time, I think we will be booking a magician.
Yeah, if there's anyone listening to this who is coming to my wedding, pull this podcast, this one back up when you get there, and there'll be a magician doing all sorts of card tricks. But go on then, your turn. What if you could have one thing, would it be a videographer? I know we spoke about that. Would it be your hair and makeup?
It would be the cake. It'd be the cake.
Right. It would be the cake.
Yeah.
From that woman we're going with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
She was special. That cake was something special.
Yeah, I kept that little leaflet on purpose.
So let's have it right. So we've said we can have anything that we haven't booked already, and all we've booked is the basic necessities, i.e. a DJ and a decorator.
And
a photographer. And we've said a cake and a magician.
My option is better than yours. A magician?
A cake and a magician. Well, there you go, ladies and gents. We've come with a cake and a magician. What I wanted to also ask you about, because we've spoken about this, and I think this is quite a good time to crack it open, is about a videographer.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
They're becoming more and more kind of standard in weddings, aren't they?
They're so like popular now.
Yeah. We're not having a videographer.
Why aren't we? What are we doing instead?
They're so much money.
They are so much money.
And again, I just sound like I'm being rude about everyone and their work and their crafts. I've watched so many videos that videographers do, and I just don't really like them.
No, you don't connect with them, really, do you? I personally think you can look at a photo and get the same that, like, I feel like I'd watch it when it was first made, and then I wouldn't watch it again for like 30 years, and it's like $2,000, and then I put it on in 30 years' time, like, oh yeah. But the photos is what you want to spend your money on.
Yeah. That was important for us to get someone we liked for that. But videographer.
But what are we doing instead of a videographer, baby?
Our plan is
what's our plan?
To buy a little video camcorder and kind of have it passed around throughout the day, allocated to certain people to catch specific things like speeches and stuff like that, and then kind of put it together like a little home movie.
Yeah, like a little home movie type, isn't it? Just no pressure, just a little kind of slapped together thing. Not slapped together, but, no one professionally putting it together with a backing track and all this stuff. It'll probably be me editing it together, with some nice fades and whatnot, but nothing much else.
Yeah.
Just as a nice memory to have.
Yeah.
Which is going to be about, I don't know, £1,800 cheaper.
Yeah.
To get a camcorder and go with that. So there's someone else you could do, And another thing you could look at if anyone ever wanted to. What do you think about like the cost of stuff? Like, do you think like what you prioritize, you should probably go for spend more on, is what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, definitely. But it definitely differs from person to person, doesn't it? Or like couple to couple as to what you want to spend your money on. But yeah, completely agree that it should be down to what you prioritise. Because even things like with the DJ, we booked in a photo booth, didn't we? Which isn't an essential.
No.
It's not something, it probably shouldn't be as high up on the list as it is for us.
Yeah.
But that was like a non-negotiable for us, wasn't it?
Well, for you, yes.
me.
And I obliged. But I think it's a good idea, but I was like, okay, sure. But it was only like...
No, it wasn't like
No,
that.
it wasn't that. It was yes, I think that's a really good idea. And then I saw the price and was like, okay, let's just do it. But I personally think that you're spot on with that. And I think it's person to person. I've got a friend who is getting married soon, and he is a photographer as well. He's an actor, but he does photography on the side. So he cares so much about his photography. And he told me that they had paid almost double what we had for our photographer.
Some are so expensive.
Right. But he was like, look, mate, I really, our photographer is brilliant, but we picked him because we went to our friend's wedding and saw their photos and was like, these are amazing, let's book this guy. He like done the grounds, he is a photographer, so, you know, done the grounds, research, and kind of went, right, I'm going to go with that. And so I guess the cost is like, if you want a videographer,
do it.
I know I've got a friend who definitely does want his videoed, because he is a videographer himself and will want that when he is. Then if that's important to you, you go for it and you put the money down.
100%. Some things will be so important to you that aren't to us, and vice versa. Like, again, go back to florists, will be so important to some people, won't they?
Absolutely. Florists will be non-negotiable to people who love flowers. For us, it was like, no, we'd rather go with this decorator. Yeah. Some people, you know, will want a different... Well, this leads me on to my next point. I was just about to say some people want a different DJ, a more expensive or less expensive, won't care as much. But this is what I was going to say as well. With the vendors and people that offer their kind of services to the wedding, like, you get like a list. We got like a list when we booked our place, right?
Yeah, which made it easier because, to be honest, I wouldn't have really known where to start otherwise. So we got a recommended list from our venue of people that they work with quite a lot or have like built up. Sorry, Max is going off in the background again. So again, sorry for any noise. Yeah, people they work with a lot and have like built relationships with and recommend to their clients essentially, which was really useful.
Yeah, it was really useful. And you kind of, honestly, guys, you will like, we just went with them because like most of the time, because it's safer. Do you know what I mean? Like they've worked there before. They know the venue like the back of their hand. They know they've done a job. They know the setup. They know like what they offer. And, you know, they you know, they're there at the open day and you just think, right, this fits, you know? So yeah, as I say, each venue kind of offers their own thing and will offer, you know, a selection of people that you can look into and go, yeah, we like them. But also, with that being said, there are some, like on the outside where you're like, no, I'm going to, like the cake person we met at a...
We've got a mix, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got a mix of both. And the cake person we met at a what was it, the wedding fair, and we were like, no, we're going with this cake person.
Yeah, that was, we just, because they had loads of samples, we just tried their samples, and I remember trying it and being like, oh my goodness, that was so yummy.
Exactly.
I need her details.
Yeah, and you got them
and kept them safe.
But yeah, well, that is all we've got time for on our little episode today. So let's skip ahead now to our tip of the week.
Okay, here we are. We've got our jar with all our tips in. Do you want to pick it this time?
Okay, I will. I will pick it out. Russell. The dog wants to get involved. Don't feed him one this week, please. Okay, what have we got there?
Ooh, dream big.
Ooh.
Educate yourself.
Ooh.
And take your time in wedding planning.
Ooh, well, what should we dissect that bit by bit? What was the first one?
Dream big.
Well, I think that's such a beautiful thing to think of on a wedding day, right?
Yeah. Dream
big. Don't dream too big unless you've got a budget like, you know.
No, but we had like, well, I say we, again, me.
You.
I had a vision. Look at him.
You had a vision. I know, he's got his eyes. If for anyone listening in, our dog got a taste for the tip of the weeks last week and he's now eyeing it up like it's food. And he is eating it again. No, he's not. Carry on. Dream big.
I had a vision.
Yes, you did.
Didn't know
as
if
you
it
do
was
with many things.
in the budget.
No.
And we're making it work.
Yeah, we are making it work just within within budget, maybe.
Educate yourself.
Hold on, can I say a little bit on Dream
Right,
Big?
sorry.
I think as well, you want to dream big as well, like how the day's going to be. I always, don't know about you, but I always like go into my little fantasy world and think about like walking down the aisle to this song or the first dance or a speech, and I start to think about what I'm going to say in the speech and stuff. And I just think, you can dream big, yes, with budget and vision and stuff like that, but you can also dream big in the way the day's going to go,
Yeah.
What's next?
Educate yourself.
Oh, you start us off on that one because you've done a lot of educating yourself.
Do you feel educated?
I feel like you could be a wedding
planner
with what you've done with this wedding.
Well, career change,
move into it. But it is a really good thing because there are all sorts of like hurdles and little bumps that you need to navigate through and know. And there are so many things that if we didn't have that spreadsheet, we wouldn't have known about this X, Y, or Z, or talking to someone, we wouldn't have known about this or that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
And I've educated you in the process.
You've educated me in the process, so I thank you for that.
And take your time in wedding planning. I'm so grateful that we took ages.
So we planned.
And we've given ourselves loads of time even still.
Absolutely. I mean, we gave ourselves almost 2 years.
Over 2 years, won't it be?
No, but like from when we picked the venue.
Yeah.
Oh no, venue.
No. Oh.
I would say almost. After I said the word, then I would say it's almost. Yeah, we almost gave ourselves 2 years. That's to save up. That's to look into it. And also what that gives you, I think, guys, as well. What that's definitely given us is like last week in our tip of the week when it was like, don't get too attached. Well, we've got every single person, every single activity, everything we've wanted so far because they've said when's your date, and we've said like 19 months away, and they're like, oh right, yeah, of course. So yeah, another great thing there.
Yep. I was gonna say something, I forgot what now.
Oh well, darn, you're live on air, don't you got to be bang on the money.
It's gone. You ruined
It's
it.
all right.
You ruined it.
Oh, sorry, but is that everything in there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, that is a lovely little tip for tip of the week, I think. That's like a 3-part tip.
What do I do with this
You
now?
don't feed it to the dog. You hand
He's
it to me and I'll put it in my
eyeing it
pocket.
up.
And he doesn't have dinner time this time.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's your tip of the week. Let's go on to tallying up the scores. Okay, guys. This is groundbreaking. I don't really know what to do here with this. But neither of us have said the word. I'm still not even going to say it now. Don't know if we're still in play, but I'm not even risking it.
I thought this would be the hardest week.
I thought it would too, but I think we used that kind of replacement word of vendor, and then we didn't have to say it. So that is a 0-0 week. That is a draw. So it's still 2-0 to you.
Nice work.
And we've got a complete clean slate. Well done. I'm very proud of you.
I'm proud of you as well.
Thank you I'm proud of myself, to be honest.
This is the best
because I've been struggling and I did my job. All I needed was one slip from you and I'd have won this week. So I did my job.
You can't beat the winner.
Exactly. And okay, well, let's sign it off. Okay, guys, from me, Pip, and Max, thank you so much. You will hear more from Max this week than you ever had before, I reckon. And he's off again. Thank you. There he is. Thank you so much for tuning in this week to episode 3 of Shut Up, We Are Getting Married. What the is a supplier? I've said it there, but the game's over. And we will see you in a couple of short weeks' time. Thanks, guys. Bye.